everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Happy New Year's, everybody. In today's late season matchup, we have two teams who have victory on their minds. It's the Browns going up against the Steelers.
Larry, despite the elements, these fans here in Western Pennsylvania, they wouldn't dream of missing this one as you get a look inside snowy Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Two teams here playing for pride as the final week of the NFL season is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Penn State. It's Christian Hackenberg.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang. But it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. If you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 58 yards.
And that explosive run right there reminds me that last week ran the ball really well, so they're continuing to do what they did in the previous game, run the ball and run it successfully. Expect that to continue throughout this one.
He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Let's face it, when you have a guy who can pick up those types of runs and keep the chains moving or stay ahead of the chains, you're making everyone else on offense happy because you're opening things up to allow for a whole lot of different play calls.
No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
On third down, Hackenberg. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. From the gun, Hackenberg. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Brandon, this is why I'm really glad I'm sitting up here next to you. It's awfully tempting to go for it right here, isn't it? But it's been a great drive. On the road, you've got to come away with at least 3 points. Kick the field goal.
And getting our first update now from Nashville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, the former Houston Cougar, Case Keenum.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Here we go. Green, 30.
The first carry here for Jaquiz Rodgers. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Play clock winding down. Now Keenum. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Time running out here on the play clock. There's Keenum now on 2nd down. And this is complete to Zach Miller. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. From the red zone now, Keenum. And that is incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll run. It's Rodgers trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
And this is caught at the 8. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Let's go.
Now Keenum throwing on second. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Haoli Kikaha. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people, make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
And Frank's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it 1st and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
They'll run it now out of the gun across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Hackenberg from the gun on 3rd. And that's complete to Croft. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. It's a tight game here early. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Play action now. Hackenberg. And the grab by Croft. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
I've yet to meet a wide receiver who likes to block more than catching the football, but the best ones understand that that's how they'll actually get more passes thrown to them if they help in the run game. And anytime you get a run of that yardage, that means the wide receivers did help. They get down to what a lot of people call the second level, the linebackers, or the third level where the defensive backs are, and they get out in front and put their bodies out there and create more space for their runners to gain the yardage.
They'll run it here. This is Rodgers. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Now it's Morris. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
Here's Pat O'Donnell to punt in his 4th year from Miami, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. Hackenberg on second down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. A first carry now for Alex Collins. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up. Wanting to get a good get-off on the snap. Jump too quickly.
Hackenberg now to throw on first. Looking for Inman deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Dontrell Inman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. And it's up and good.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives them a new set of downs. On the ground, Rodgers. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it was almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. They run with Morris. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
There's no secret to beating a 3-4 when you're trying to run the ball up the middle. You have to control the guy over the nose of the center. And oftentimes, he's awfully hard to move. That's why he's there. A big guy, usually north of 300 pounds, with some agility. But somehow, you got to figure out how to move him. And most teams will double the nose. Center and a guard trying to move him to one side or the other, and when they're able to do that successfully, as just happened here, that's when you get big-time running plays.
This is Morris, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That was a nice play by the defense, but the offense can't let that one play define them. Let it go, move on, and start over again.
Now Rodgers. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. I still remember my old coaches saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you, so make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident.
They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And Frank's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So give him 3 there. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach, but it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Drew Kaiser now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that would help him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Here we go.
1st and 10. Here's Keenum. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st. Throwing on 1st down is Keenum. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Charles Tapper in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. On 2nd down, here's Keenum. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Zach Miller as tight end there. And it's 3rd down.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Keenum. And he's got Miller. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
So that one will be accepted. The penalty on 1st down backs him up 5. It's now 1st down and 15. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And some room to roam now. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the 1st half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando. So no update from Larry after 17 weeks. Folks are saying, let's get on with the show. So we'll oblige as we get you set for the 2nd half kickoff. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the 1st half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the 2nd half is better for him than the 1st half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And the play clock's running down. Another carry now for Rodgers. And he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's not always as trite as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be a third and about 13.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
Back to throw, Keenum. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers, and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football, you can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and that usually gives you an advantage in running it.
Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Play clock winding down. And Frank's kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So it's a third field goal for him now, and he's accounted for all 9 of their points thus far.
And he's definitely keeping them afloat. But we say it so often, field goals are not going to win you games in the National Football League. They've got to find ways to start capitalizing when they get down near the red zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. The Browns on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Hackenberg. Fighting to stay upright. And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Time running out here on the play clock. Here's Morris. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on third down. And the Steelers on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Off the play fake, Keenum. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved a first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what second down brings. From the gun, it's Hackenberg. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And there's another conversion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Let's go.
Now Hackenberg. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. Now, fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They go play action here on first down. A deep ball for Dotson. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Keenum will try again on second down. And right with it here over the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 41-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
And we've got a dandy here, a 1-point game as we begin the 4th. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Let's go. 3, 19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by him and setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down. Back to the air on second down. It's Keenum. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Fresh set of downs here. The play clock's running down. Keenum going to throw. And he's got room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 more on that one, and another first down. Keenum now on first down. And he slings one that's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson. And now it's second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Second and 10, Keenum here again. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. And let's not take for granted, in these conditions, that's never an easy pass and catch.
You really got to find a way to drive the ball. Get your grip. That's why we see some of the guys now that put the gloves on when they throw the ball in this type of a condition. Sometimes the glove might make it too slippery. So you got to figure out what's going to work for you. But how about the receivers? Looking back and trying to locate the ball coming through snow and making sure they have full concentration.
On first down, it's Keenum. Got his man complete over the middle. It's right. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They'll need to get the play off quickly. To the air again, Keenum. He hits Rodgers in the flat. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
Let's go! Blue landed! Blue landed!
Now Keenum again. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Jaquiz Rodgers, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. Oh, no, he lost the football. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, If you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Hackenberg. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Josh Malone. And it's 2nd down.
Here we go. Blue landed.
The 2nd down throw for Hackenberg. His throw incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a handoff here to his running back. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. On 3rd down, it's Rodgers, and he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Hasn't had his best game running the football here tonight, but hey, that's a critical spot right there to convert on 3rd down, and he did it.
And the lights are shining just a little bit brighter right now, aren't they? You remember the beginning of the game? If he gets this 1st down, everybody's happy. That's cool. But here, that was critical, and it really energizes him.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the 50, it's Keenum. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Play clock winding down. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They run a draw here on second down. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now it's Keenum. Got a man, it's right. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. A handoff as they run the counter play. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
Elsewhere, fourth quarter score now for Baltimore. And the Ravens now really pouring it on. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first. Second down and 4. Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. First down now, but the clock continues to move. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. He'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. He's back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. And he clocks it with just 10 seconds left. Back to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Down to their last chance now. This is going to have to be a heave for the end zone and just hope for a miracle.
And I don't sit back with everyone back defending. I've got to have somebody rushing the quarterback. Don't make it easy for him to set up and throw the ball all the way downfield.
And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down.
Here we go. 3-19.
One last shot here for Hackenberg. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for the Steelers, it will wind up a .500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Browns, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.